what Jesus means to me. I was born rich in the things that really matter. A loving and stable family who cared for me. There was much love and laughter, encouragement to be independent, and just times together where we shared. So yes, I felt I was born rich. It was only as I grew a bit older that I realised that in the eyes of the world, I was perhaps poorer than many of my classmates, but only in material things. In my teenage years, I met some people who had something I felt I wanted. They had an added depth and vibrancy to their lives. They were young Christians. I could talk an awful lot about these years, but it's a very long story. So to cut a very long story short, a few years after I met them, I decided to follow Jesus. And I have been doing so for the last 50 plus years, and he has been faithful to me. But however, this isn't a history talk. I want to speak about what Jesus means to me now. Jesus is my guide, my strength. He sustains me. He is my refuge. He's always with me. He gives me abundant life, as he promises in John's Gospel, chapter 10 and verse 10. In 2013, I moved to Worcester. This was partly prompted by the fact that I would be close to my much-loved brother and sister-in-law. Oh, we had good times together, meals out, days out, holidays together, and the laughter and joy I remembered from younger years. An added bonus was that people had told me about St. Peter's Baptist Church. They knew how important a church was to me, and I started coming and found that St. Peter's was going to be my spiritual home. I felt at home straight away. Before I'd moved, quite a few people said to me, "Oh, I'd think very carefully about moving if I were you. It's very difficult to make new friends at your age." How wrong they were. I have formed really good friendships. Friendships I treasure as much as I treasure the friendships that I made in earlier years. I prepared myself to settle down to a quieter life. I'd been retired a few years and I thought it was now time to be perhaps for a quieter life. How wrong I was. God had other plans. My health improved. I was able to travel more, including extended trips to Australia to visit my sister. I became more involved in church life. It was an abundant life indeed, really happy, lots going on. Then, in 2015, after a time of illness, my sister-in-law died. 2 years later, my brother died. This was a time of deep grief. Where was that abundant life now, you might ask? And I can tell you, it is still with me. I am alone, but not lonely. I know God is with me every step of the way. He is interested in my joys, my sorrows, my concerns, the ups and downs of my life. I have been very blessed by the support of the St. Peter's family in many ways. Many more than I could tell you, but I will just tell you this, that last year when I needed an operation and found I couldn't walk for a fortnight, they provided me with meals every day. Really, God's family in action at its best. God hasn't done with me yet. You're never too old or too young to serve God. Never too old and never too young. And remember that. He's as interested in young people as he is in older people. In good times and bad, God is my refuge and strength.